Whoa! What the whoa! 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 Is this what walls look? Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon Rumpel's Root. So, we're finally at the ending here, and it seems like we figured out Mythos' real plan, which is to bring back Lucette's mother, who is technically not dead, she's just kind of in the crystal, if that makes any sense. Anyway, we are now escaping with Chevalier because Dolores is distracting Varg, so let's see how this ends. Chevalier's steps are wider than mine, and I have to struggle to keep up. But the further we go down the hallway, the more apparent it becomes that there are too many obstacles in the way. We pass Jurin and Garland as we move too, and they manage to clear a path for us. These knights, will they not stop moving until Mythos is defeated? I hope the king and everyone else is safe. As we pass Jurin and Garland, I tell them where the royal family is, but I have no way of knowing if the words reach their ears amidst all the sound. Chevalier? So the stab wound in the armor that I saw earlier were from the knights themselves. Why would they battle each other? What? The puncture in the armor that we saw at the clinic, the stab wounds in the gut and the arms. Chevalier's eyes are so distant. It is as if he's looking right through me. We need to keep moving. I take his hand and lead him forward. Oh god. I don't know what he's talking about, but we can talk about this later. Right now we have to escape. We are closer to the palace entrance when we see them. A group of knights standing in two lines on both sides of the hall, facing each other. At the far end of the hallway stands a gaggle of witches and between them, Mythos. How did this guy get here? Does he just like teleport around the palace? I'm just asking. Good evening. Did you enjoy your stroll around the palace? Chevalier immediately moves to stand in front of me. The cloudiness from his eyes is gone. But what leaves his mouth is not demand, but a question. How could you do this? How? It's quite easy, actually. You know what I mean. Why would you make the knights fight one another? What a foolish question. Obviously it's because they're inconsensual. On a stage, some pawns exist are easily replaceable extras. I'm interested in keeping only the actors. In the grand scheme of things, the extras aren't needed. In fact, I can make do whatever I need in order to get the best outcome. He snaps his fingers and the knights raise their swords. I tense, thinking that the knights are going to turn to us, but they never do. Here's an interlude for you. Enjoy. The knights are attacking each other? The sound of metal ringing against metal fills the air. The knights' swords arch, dive, and stab. Mythos watches from behind them, the sly smile never leaving his lips. The two of us can only stand there stunned in silence. It isn't long before we can see red. Whoa. So he's just basically, I think he's basically trying to show off like his power, like he can just control them and do whatever he wants. The smell of blood begins to linger in the air and as the sword cuts through the flesh. Abruptly, I snap to my senses. I attempt to move forward, but Chevalier remains firmly grounded. Chevalier, I heard many things about the doctor working at the clinics. I heard that he was a volunteer who had assisted in helping the injured during the Great War. I also heard, until just recently, he had been cursed. I knew immediately upon seeing you that you were that volunteer. I suppose it's unavoidable that you and the princess to know each other, but to think that you would be so close. Chevalier just stares blankly ahead. He looks almost like he's under a spell. His eyes are glazed. I continue to call his name. His eyes follow around the sword movements of the knights, and he does not even spare me a glance. Oh shit. Have I unraveled the doctor? Oh no, please tell me he doesn't have him under control. Oh god. Not like Mother. Chapter 10. Please, this is the good ending, I assume. If I don't, I'm doing both endings regardless, it doesn't matter. Chevalier, don't listen to him. Just looking at all these men you cannot save. All these men dying before your eyes. Chevalier, we have to get away from here. How many people have you really saved? In the grand scheme of things, you have no talent. This is why you sought help from a witch. Whoa. The fuck is he doing? Mythos' voice is oddly calm, and I can feel some sort of presence in the air that is different from normal. The knight plunges a sword through another guy, causing him to lose his sword. The sword skitters across the floor, gleaming underneath the moonlight. I look desperately at Chevalier and realize that the magic is already working its way into him. He does not even see anyone except for Mythos, who is smiling at him from behind all the knights. I glance at the sword, remembering what Chevalier taught me. Mythos is unguarded right now, but I have better judgment than that, and I told Chevalier that I was going to steer clear of the burden of taking someone's life. I have a promise to keep. No, but I mean, it's not a good idea to pick up the sword right in front of Mythos and he can just use his magic, but I mean, like, I don't know. I gazed up at Chevalier and realized that this was how he looked every time he regained a memory, like he was stuck in his own mind. There's only one thing I can think of to get him out of this trance. I clenched my hand into a fist. Whoa! And I punched Chevalier in the face. Ow! God, it's my face! Impossible. Chevalier's eyes clear when he looks at me, and I can tell that he's distraught, but his eyes are seeing the present. Sorry, I thought I lost you. This is so funny. I legit thought she was gonna like kiss him or hug him, but you're like, don't get into the trance. But she just punches him. That's what I would do if I was being honest. I suppose I needed that, didn't I? Chevalier smiled sheepishly. He is fleeting and gone by the time we both turned to Mythos again. Chevalier looks straight past the still fighting knights. If this bothers Chevalier, which it must, he hides it underneath a neutral expression. How did you break my spell? Can't even use magic. She didn't break it with magic. She broke it with the power of love. I think she broke it with the power of her fist. I stare at him skeptically. We both know that is not true. I know Chevalier well enough to know that he does not mean that. But Mythos looks furious. Love? As if some veritable love could save you both from this predicament. Princess, you're a witch. We feed off negativity, off chaos and loathing. Love serves no power. Life is about balance. Lucette taught me that. And I thought I might not be able to uphold the balance of negatives and positives myself. I'm at least going to try. You could at least try and do the same. Maybe look beyond your depressing life and start reaching for something that gives you happiness. Shit. Something that won't plummet you back into the same darkness. Mythos snaps his fingers at the knights and they all freeze. Then they turn to us, swords raised. I do not need to be lectured by some lovesick fool. By all means, cling to your love. I will show you how fragile it is. Witches do not need love. Mythos holds out his hand as the knights begin their steady, deadly march towards us. Chevalier takes my hand and pulls me back. But I see my opening in the narrative. Mythos enjoys inflicting pain with his words. And I can do the same. If you do not need love, if you do not need affection, then why are you doing all this for Mother? I am not. You are doing it to be recognized. Why? Every student wants to impress their teacher. His words are calm, but there is some desperation in them. Mother was Mythos' teacher. I had a thought he was just reviving her as another witch, but do you know Mythos? It was a long time ago. We both share the same teacher. Teacher? Wait. Waltz, are you a witch? Yeah. Waltz was Mother's student? No, I can't think about that now, but I can use this to my advantage. I do not remember Mother's student in the least, but one of them turned out right. The other did not, and I can see the bitterness in you. It's the same bitterness I held, only yours goes deeper. You will not try to sway me with your foolish words. The knights begin to rush at us. Their run is more pathetic than a shuffle, given the harmed state that they're in, but this does not slow them down. We're going to run. But, trust me, Princess, I will protect you no matter what happens. He grabs my hand and we wait. I can see Chevalier's eyes darting around as he searches for an opening. I can feel the pulse quickening in his heartbeat through his hand, and I know that he is panicking. What is happening? Is this Waltz? Please tell me that's Waltz, because the magic glow was like yellow. Suddenly, there's a massive luminescent gold wall in front of us. The knights stumble into it, their swords hitting the bright barrier. Oh my god, it's her! It's Parfait! What is she doing here? Are you two okay? Parfait rushes to stand in front of us. Mythos' expression is a cold, angry glare. He measures the situation with a critical eye. Then he turns away and begins to dart down the hall. Parfait collapses onto one knee, arms still outstretched to maintain the barrier. Delora appears. She is flushed and bleeding in one arm, but she still stands out straight. Delora holds up her arm and summons fire. Put down the shield, Parfait. I have this. Parfait releases the shield and the magic projectiles shoot out of the knights. Two edge the knights back through the hall, but I can see Parfait growing weaker and weaker by the moment. Parfait takes a deep, shuddering breath as she tries to stand, but she falls yet again. Chevalier takes a step forward to look at her urgently. Lady Parfait! I'm fine, don't fuss. Her breathing is labored, but she still manages to smile. Oh no. I fought in the Great War, this is nothing. She looks at me and Chevalier. You two need to leave. But you're fine, I just need to gather my energy. Plus, I mean, I don't want to leave her, but Dolores with her too, you know what I mean? A spell from Dolores sends the knight sprawling onto the ground after she creates a heavy downpour of rain that quickly turns into ice. You two keep going, the entrance is clear. I notice the witches have been standing behind Mythos approaching us now. Dolores stands at the ready. I can tell that she is hiding a great amount of stress behind her smirk. Parfait slowly gets to her feet. We fight together, Delora. There's no one I'd rather have fighting by my side, Faye. Come on, princess, while we still have an opening. We head around the side. Parfait erects a shield to protect us from any magic that comes our way, and Dolores summons a whirlwind as a distraction. Ow! My foot is grazed by fire magic, causing me to stumble, but I force myself into a limping sprint regardless. This is nothing. At the entrance, I pause in the middle of the room. The main entrance hall is eerily silent. And then I see Mythos edging his way into the king's throne room. He's holding tight to Emmeline. He notices me watching and smiles. And then he disappears into the throne room. We have to follow him. Princess! He has Emmeline! Chevalier's posture and expression isn't decisive, but mine are not. I know Mythos is baiting me, but I can't leave her alone. Oh no! And especially because Emmeline, she's too sweet and she doesn't know what to... Oh no, she can't fight her by herself. My gaze moves around the hallway as I search for the other knights. The palace is empty, but it's no longer before we hear footsteps. I tense at the sound and Chevalier holds tightly onto my hand. Then suddenly, as the figure draws nearer, I recognize him, even if he seems completely different, older person. Whoa! What the whoa! 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 Is this what Waltz look? What the fuck, did he break his curse? Dude, Waltz is fucking hot! Dude, this is what he actually looks like because he's stuck in kid form, right? Oh my god. Alright, sorry, that took me by surprise. I finally found you. Waltz? You broke your curse? How? Chevalier stares at him in awe. I now dub you Waltz the Big. There was never Waltz the Small. Waltz shakes his head. I broke my curse unexpectedly. I actually found the item I needed while I was searching around. But I can explain more later. For now, we have to go after Mythos. Do you know where he is? He's in the throne room. Dang, Waltz is hot. Jesus. Alright, sorry, that took me by surprise. It's so funny. Mythos stands in the middle of the empty throne room, holding Emmeline to him. He has his hand around her neck. No sudden movements, you three, or this girl dies. And I do know how much death bothers you. With the start, I realize that he is talking to Waltz. All three of us are frozen. Myth. Traitor. Why can't you see that Hilda wasn't trying to teach us? She was trying to corrupt us. Silence, traitor. You betrayed her. During the war, you betrayed our own teacher. Betrayed? Hilda was corrupted. She cannot be saved. How dare you use her name? He said it, like, earlier. Like, what the fuck is this? This guy's a little bit late. Like, you know what I mean? Mythos' fingers tighten on Emmeline's throat. I can see the tears running down her face. Her sobbing is quiet, but still reaches my ears in the silent room. Varg! Varg appears from the darkness as he did before. He smiles at all of us from behind Mythos, eyes glinting mischievously. You didn't finish the job. You were awfully vague when you told me to take care of them. You know, most people would assume that meant entertaining them and offering them refreshments. Oh my god. Obey me! Varg turns to us. He draws a sword he used earlier. His smile is fading. I think I see something pain in his eyes, but I think that it might be my imagination. He looks stoic as he moves towards us. When Waltz moves to Mythos, his hands tighten over Emmeline's neck, and she cries out. Chevalier is watching everything quietly. The concern in his eye is muted by urgency. I follow his gaze around the room, wondering what he is searching for. Myth, is it? You were injured during the Great War? I tended to you once. Stabbed in the stomach. You needed stitches for it. I feel Mythos' confusion before I see it. For just a few moments through, his gaze is centered on Chevalier, his eyes probing at him for information. No one came for you. Your teacher must have thought you were too weak, that you would die. Ooh, ooh! Mythos' hand flies away from Emmeline's neck as he lunges towards Chevalier with a snarl, his expression mad. The room breaks out into chaos then. I feel the rise of magic beside me as Waltz readies the spell, the tension in Chevalier's body as he prepares to shield me, and lastly I see Varg zip across the room. The fuck is happening? Everything goes white. When I look up, I see Walt standing in front of me with a shield. Mythos' hand lies flat against the shield, and I can feel the heat of his magic. Varg lies on the ground beside his fallen sword, unconscious from the impact of the magic. Even Chevalier is on his knees. I rush towards the sword. In that moment, at the same moment, Walt pushes Mythos back onto the ground. Then, sword in hand, I stand up Mythos and aim it at his neck. The blade touches his skin without sinking into it. Emlyn is hiding behind the throne, staring at the scene with shock on her tear-stained face. Will you kill me? Mythos' smile is a mere shadow of itself. You saw the soldiers in the clinic today. You saw how close some of them were to death. Did you see the hollow look in their eyes? I have seen that look many times. It is the look of a man who clings desperately to life. Every life is precious, and a life is still a life. Whether it is vile or not, it is still a responsibility you have to bear. I know how valuable lives are because I have helped so many people. That desperation in Mythos' eyes now, a man that clings to life. It would be so easy to slice his throat. I've seen so much bloodshed on this night, and it was all caused by Mythos. If I kill him, I can stop it. But that would make me no better than Mother. I dropped the sword. Okay. You know, I really do want her to kill him, but, like, I know that's not going to result in good terms with Chevalier. Mythos actually stops to stare at me in shock. I'm not like Mother. I will not kill you for revenge. No sooner have I said the words that I feel sudden heat in my chest. My hand instantly reaches up to grab my necklace around my neck. And then there is bright light. Yay! We broke the curse! Fuck you! Mythos! Can we use our magic now? Is it our birthday? When the light clears, a new source of light catches my eyes. Yeah! I stop to stare down at my feet, which are in glass slippers that shine so brightly they sparkle even in the dim light. But I have no time to admire the shoes or the weight that has fallen off my shoulders. I barely recognize the Fairytale Curse has been broken. Emlyn rises from behind the throne and screams, Lucette, watch out! Mythos grabs the sword with his hand, turns around and aims at my chest. It hits a barrier. Parfait stands beside me once more. Her face is devoid of any color. I did not see her rush in here. She takes a step forward as if to shield me. Out of my way! Mythos draws the sword back and plunges it against the shield. This time, the blade is coated with darkness. It pierces the already flimsy shield. The blade goes through Parfait's heart. No! No! Is she dead? What? What? Parfait! No! She dies! What? Parfait grabs the blade and narrows her eyes at Mythos. I'm sorry Hildur did not appreciate you. Something swells inside of me as I stare at Parfait. The sword is impaled in her, and I can see her eyes go glassy. I cannot speak, cannot breathe. Waltz rushes forward with his magic and pins Mythos forcefully to the ground. He raises his hand, but it never comes down in time. The sword strikes past his shoulder, right at Mythos' neck. Good! Kill that bitch! What the fuck? When I turn, it is Chevalier who is holding it. His body shakes as tears run down his cheeks. Mythos holds his neck as Chevalier holds up the blade and throws it behind him. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch movement that it can only be Varg, but I do not care. Lady Parfait, do not move. We can take the sword out. We can. I can see the hopelessness in Chevalier's expression. I know that whatever wound Parfait took was lethal. I can see it in his eyes. I can see it in Parfait's. There's no need to fuss. No! What the fuck? What? That's such bullshit! It's just like Fritz dying! Now, what the hell? I don't like this. This messed up. When Parfait falls, Waltz grabs her and puts his head onto the hilt of the sword. Chevalier crumbles beside her. He stares at the blood staining her dress with sorrow. I start to cry. Lucette, do not regret this. I'm proud of you. The room is quiet, even with the newcomers that arrive. The knights and Karma watch the scene from the sidelines, all with grim looks on their faces. Last to arrive is Delora. Oh no! Who sits down beside Parfait with her lips pulled into an uptight frown. Her face is stern, but I can tell it is a mask. Parfait, that look doesn't suit you, Delora. I told you to stay back! Had I not been here in time, the princess would have... Her words fall apart as she began to cough. Delora leans over her and shakes her head. I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. Everything is as it should be, Delora. Parfait cranks her neck to look up at me. Wipe away your tears, Lucette. What you did was a good deed. You spared a man's life. But life is not a fairy tale. Humans are good and bad. No, it isn't. But the fear of death makes a life even more valuable. Do not worry, princess. I chose this. Parfait smiles, in the midst of trying to see her smile when her body is slowly crumbling away in Waltz's grasp. Parfait's body is what gives out first. Her eyes go out next. They remain focused on me, still smiling. Her body begins to glow as her body slowly fades away. No! She's gone! What the hell? Parfait. Parfait! Delora turns away. Even if she is not shedding any tears, it is clear that she is heartbroken. She closes her eyes and releases a shaky sigh. Sweet dreams, my friend. No! What the fuck? I didn't think anyone was gonna die in this route! This is the good ending! I didn't know how long we were standing in that room, mourning the loss of Parfait. Karma, Jurin, and Garland eventually spread out to search for any remains of danger. At some point, they returned with the king and the rest of the family. My reunion with my family was half-hearted. I do not even know what to say to the people that I hated only months ago. Despite the quiet, they all take me in with open arms. The king stays by my side longer after the others have left. Karma and the knights return to the Martian to tell the others the news. Waltz goes in search of the palace for any remaining resistance. Only Delora, Chevalier, the king, and I remain. Chevalier cries. I have never seen him cry before. His heartbreak is my own. Oh my god! I don't like this. How is this supposed to be the good ending? What are you telling me? God damn it, Daisuke. What happened was a nightmare, but it eventually ended. Last night, Vargas escaped the throne room. No one saw him where he disappeared to into all of the chaos. I'm beginning to believe that his faint was a trick. Since the night had left, everyone was so tired, we offered the rooms in the palace. I came to my room with Chevalier, where the two of us attempted to comfort each other with words. Chevalier was especially shaken, being the one to kill Mythros. He was in tears for a long time. That's true! I kinda had a feeling that it was gonna be him who was gonna kill someone. Like, maybe not Mythos, but like kill a living person. Because that's kinda like his moral compass, like he can't kill anybody. And then it makes it worse because you kill their friend too. Like, that's really fucked up. I'm pretty sure that I must have fallen asleep sometime when we were talking, but I am lying in my bed, underneath my covers, and I think for a few moments that it must be a figment of my imagination, but it is not. What? Aww. Chevalier is definitely lying next to me, sleeping beneath those same covers. How did this happen? I pull out the recollection of the previous day and stare at Chevalier's face. His glasses are off. Without them, his face seems strangely empty. He looks vulnerable, almost like a child, except his features are too handsome for that. What am I thinking? I slowly put my hand to his cheek and flinch when his eyebrows crease. Moments later, his eyes open. They are foggy in this early morning. What is this? Have I been woken up by my princess? Usually it's the prince that wakes up their princess. I will always wonder how he managed to keep smiling like this. Even when he is in pain, he forces a smile. But you are no prince, and I'm not some damsel princess. Chevalier closes his eyes again and sigh. He's like, you had to ruin the moment. There's only one way to break the spell of sleep. I flush as his lips curl into a mischievous smile. Still his eyes do not open. I think of what happened last night. Parfait and Mythos' death, Varg's escape, everyone else's heartbreak. Before I can have relief of the burden, I can afford to lose myself in some happiness. I lean forward and kiss his smile. I break away from Chevalier, startled. Princess? How distressing. Waltz the big ruins everything. I quickly slip out of bed and Chevalier sits down to put his glasses on with a yawn. Good morning, Princess, and his eyes widen when he sees Chevalier. Are you so tired the woods have abandoned you, Waltz? No, I wanted to see if the princess was doing okay, if you both were all alright, actually. He pauses to look at us, his eyebrows furrowed in thought. Though, I can't imagine how tongue-tied you must be. You speak as if you have something to say. Waltz sighs. I didn't want to bring it up so soon, but it's been on my mind the whole night. It's just, you didn't have to kill Myth. That was my job. Your job? I doubt that. Besides, I didn't want to kill him, it was a reaction. The room goes silent for a moment as Chevalier stares down at the floor. He told me before that lives were valuable. That is why I tried to save Mythros, but in the end, my sparing his life forced Chevalier to carry the burden of his death. He already told me that it's not my fault. Parfait said that what I did was a good deed, but still. Killing Mythos saved us more casualties. I hope I can convince Chevalier of that. Most likely, he will wrestle with the guilt for a long time. I turn my attention back to Waltz and will the question to the back of my mind for the time being. Waltz, there are questions I need to ask you. About how he broke his curse, about Mother being his teacher, about Mythos. There was so much to ask him I didn't even know where to start. We have plenty of time for your explanation now, Princess. After your birthday, Delora and I will pick you up your magic education, but for now, you should rest. I'll give you the full story of my apprenticeship and my curse another day. But Princess, Chevalier, I just thought I'd let you know when Parfait comes into the battle, she expected to die. She told all of us while we were sitting around trying to plot out the rescue plan. I glanced at Chevalier, who nods quietly. Was it because of her fragility after the Great War, or did Parfait somehow have a feeling? I think it's both, honestly, because of the way she acted. I'm pretty sure it's both. Oh, also, congratulations on breaking your curse, Princess. Chevalier sits up straight, his eyes narrow behind his glasses. Waltz, I was supposed to congratulate her first. Chevalier stands up and kisses me promptly on the cheek. My cheeks are flushed, and even Waltz looks embarrassed. Congratulations, my sweet. It was all very dramatic when your curse broke. There's this bright light and... Wait. Why was there no bright light when I broke my curse? Both Waltz and I burst into laughter. Chevalier just sighs dramatically. He leans against my shoulder and I do not protest. I have a feeling that getting through the memory of last night might be easier with him here. If anyone could put a smile on my face, it is Chevalier. We hope to see you again at the Martian soon, Princess. I will be back. After all, I have friends there. Aww, did I speak falsely? No, of course not, it's the truth. Anyway, I have to get going. I've explained what happened to your father, but you should talk to him privately soon. After everything that happened last night, speaking to the king is the last thing on my mind. But I suppose it must be done. Thank you, Waltz. And you, Chevalier, might want to ask for a guest room. But no bed is as comfy as the princess. Oh my god. I nudge him without realizing it, but Chevalier just laughs. We promised Waltz that we would see him and everyone else in the Martian soon. Afterwards, Waltz hurries out to shut the door. My eyes go to the edge of the bed, where something shiny catches my eyes. The glass slippers. Hey, remember the box that she was supposed to open in the last episode? I'm wondering if that has to relate to Waltz's curse. We're gonna find out very soon anyway. The glass slippers are reminded of everything that happened yesterday. Of the fact that life goes beyond just black and white. Good and evil are subjective. In the end, life is gray, Mother. Both good and bad. But even so, even though fairy tale endings cannot exist, I still want to live my life with everyone else. Mythos centered his life around a single person. He was selfish, and I will become someone better than him. Thinking about Mythos making me remember something. Chevalier, yesterday you said that you took care of Mythos during the Great War. That no one came for him. Was that true? I don't know, Lucette. He acted like it was, though, wasn't it? So you never knew Mythos? No, I didn't know him at all. Ooh, I'll be smart to say that, though. It makes sense, though. Like, if he was injured during the war, I highly doubt Hilda would be like, I'm gonna go save you, because she's so corrupted. I don't know if I would have been able to strike him down if I did. I don't know what burden he carried, but it seemed heavy. I only guessed at what I could say to distract him. I heard rumors of a strong witch that went abandoned for many years. That may have been him. It might have not been him. So, deception exists in everyone, but it is not entirely what Mother said it was. My birthday is tomorrow. I sit in the throne room speaking to my father, who is listening to my tale with patience. When it's over, he looks at me sadly. I owe you an apology, Lucette. This whole time you have been on your own. I could not do anything for you. You can now, starting first by explaining what happened between you and Mother. You knew she was a witch. I did. You did too, before she forcibly erased your memories. I tried reaching out to you many times when you were a child, but my efforts were met with resistance. Still, I cannot excuse myself for what I have done. I truly abandoned you, and I'm sorry for that, Lucette. I will explain the story to you, if you give me the time. For now, I would very much like to mend the bond with you. To be honest, the king still angers me. He only apologizes now, after all of that has come to light. Whether or not I was difficult to speak to, he still had an obligation to seek me out. He is still late to care, but he is still my father, and I can forgive him. I can learn to trust him again. It will take time, but I would like to mend our bond. I would also like to try speaking with Emmeline, Ron, and Ophelia, but that will take time. The king smiles at me. It is only the first honest smiles I've seen with him in years. We have time, all the time in the world, and we will mend our family bond, I promise. As I turn to leave the room, the king calls me out. Lucette, I'm proud of you. More proud than any other father in the realm could ever be of his child. Aw, that's sweet. After what happened, we searched for Fritz, but he has vanished. Again. Mythos and Varg had said that they had replaced him, but they never said anything about what happened to him. We searched endlessly, but to no avail. All I can hope for is that he's safe, and that I will reunite with him again in the future. Oh, Waltz's performance today was amazing. Don't you agree, Mr. Chevalier? I agree. You ladies look especially charming with so many lilies floating around you. Oh my! He always speaks like that. Do not mind him. It has been the whole month since the events at the palace. My birthday has come and gone. Now my life begins. I have been practicing magic with Waltz and Delora, attempting to bond with my family and visit the Martian when time allows me to. Anise was overjoyed seeing me visit often. Since the Chevalier operates there as a doctor, I visit often. Mostly though, he clings to me like a leech. Oftentimes I find him in my bed, and when I have sworn that he was sleeping in another room for the night. Sometimes at night, he has nightmares of blood in his hands and the Mythos' death. And those times I'm glad I'm sitting right beside him so I can promise him that things are alright. As for the Fairytale Curse, I have no idea how Lucette puts up with you. Rod's voice comes out from between his lips. Now he can actually speak. Since the Fairytale Curse was tied to Mother's living soul in the crystal, her disappearance and taking my place immediately caused the root to vanish. I have been working for days to break everyone's Fairytale Curse with magic, and when I am done, no one in the kingdom will have to suffer from it ever again. And now, the Martian is not a place reserved for the curse. Now it is open to the public. Lucette enjoys it, though she finds my poetic weavings to be the best in the kingdom. What he means to say is that I can only put up with them because of our relationship. Loving someone so much that you can put up with their nonsensical poetry. I thought that you were the nice one, Princess Emmeline. No, she has a point. Emmeline focuses her attention on the musician standing off in the distance. She points excitedly, then rushes after them, pulling her brother with her. Her guards follow. Ever since the incident in the palace, we have more security. I do not blame the king, though it can be tiring at times. Luckily, he's more lax with me. When I told him that Chevalier was going to be with me, he settled having Emmeline and I share guards. And so, I get to be alone with Chevalier often. Father was wary of him at first, until he found out that he was a renowned doctor. Oh my god, that sounds like every fucking parent! Like, he's a doctor? Wow! Now he and Chevalier get along so well enough. Chevalier takes a step closer to me and places my hands around his arm. Aww, yay! I am no prince, nor am I a knight in shining armor. I am just a doctor who has been blessed with the most beautiful woman in this world. Chevalier begins to lead me through the town again. He is one of the only constants in my ever-changing life. He is the only one that will ever make me smile. We share a burden, the burden of a friend's death. He is more burdened with nightmares than I am, and while I wish I could do more to help, I can at least listen to him, just like he listens to me. No matter the burden, it can be overcome. Lucette? Yes? I love you, more than anything in this world. I love you too. We share one kiss, ignoring the spectators in the town, with a shared smile. Then we follow Emmeline. Yay! Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so, I mean, it's such a bittersweet, good ending, because Parfait still dies, and then Varg is missing. I'm assuming he's not dead. I'm just assuming, but yeah, I like the ending that this kind of pushes the burden of, Chevalier to kill someone. But, at the same time, it's kind of messed up because now they have to, like, remember that they just killed someone and their friend died at the same time. But anyway, let me do the bad ending and then I will talk about how I feel about the root later on. Okay, chapter 10! I will protect you, Chevalier. I will do whatever it takes, even if I have to kill someone. I pluck the sword from the ground and grasp it at the hilt. It feels heavy in my hand, but I ignore the weight. I rush down the hall with the sword, waving it the way to the side so that I'm out of the way of the knights fighting each other. I look squarely at Mythos, and then suddenly Chevalier's eyes flicker to me, only momentarily, but enough for me to know that he is no longer looking at Mythos in a daze. I turn back to see Chevalier rubbing his hands across his eyes. Mythos snaps his finger at the two fighting knights and turns to rush towards me. What? The knights manage to back me into the corner of the wall. I hold the blade out as they bear down on me and close my eyes. My hands shake at the hilt, but I stand resolute, ready for the blow. But it does not come. Moments before the knight raise their swords, I am aware of the breath that is on my cheek, a beautiful violet eye staring into my own. Lucette! No! And then he dies too! No! But the sword ends up with the grasp blade and buried deep into Chevalier's chest. Ah! No! No! He sacrifices himself! His words phase into his hand. He slides down either side of me. He slumps his head and falls onto my shoulder. No! A raw sound escapes my throat and I feel a warmth leap for Chevalier's body. Chevalier! I scream his name and look up and he looks up, but his eyes do not see me. They are somewhat far away. My thrust pulls Chevalier's body down to the ground where it falls with a terrible thud. Insequential. I am deaf to Mythra's words. I slump down beside Chevalier, my hands reaching for his. His eyes are still open, but the light in them is gone. No! Tears stream down my face. I cannot breathe. Can I hear my heart? Everything is quiet and dark. Chevalier! Now that obstacle is gone, you have nothing left, princess. Mythra's hands reaches for me. I attempt to lift the sword, but he knocks it easily from my hand. Are you truly the queen's daughter? The queen never cries. She was the strongest woman I knew. I cannot breathe and I cannot stifle the sobs escaping my throat. She taught me that sentimentality was nothing to value. That would be your only weakness. I assume you knew that too, princess. But I was wrong. It will be a good thing that when the queen is back on the throne, the weak do not win. He snaps his fingers and the witches congregate around me. Now we shall use you to bait the fairy and everyone else will fall. I will unravel this effort in its heart. He nudges Chevalier's body. I look down at Chevalier's ashen face and sob. I let the tears gather in my eyes until I can't see anything. What the fuck? Nothing else matters anymore. Oh no! That's so sad! He sacrifices himself. Oh my god. I kinda saw it coming, if I'm being honest. God damn it. Okay guys, so that was Rumpel's Root. I hope you enjoyed. I did like Rumpel's story. I like that it kinda challenge Rumpel's like moral compass or like how he sees the world and stuff like that. That's pretty interesting. His relationship with Lucette was okay. Like I had no problem with it. It was just only the age difference. I know she was turning 18 like within like a week of the story. But for me, I just wish she was already 18 so it wouldn't be that creepy. I'm not saying like he's that old from her, but just from the circumstances of she's under 18. You know what I mean? She's still a child. So other than that, I did like Rumpel's character. I liked his curse because it made it more interesting to figure out like what was going on with him. And I like the twist that like he was engaged once, he was a doctor, blah blah blah, and then Parfait fucking dies in the good ending. I don't know how that's a good ending. She dies. The bad ending was a little bit more predictable if I'm being honest. But I still enjoyed the writing of his story regardless. So now I'm gonna move on to Fritz's story because I'm gonna save Waltz for last. I think he's the canon of this game. I'm not really sure, but Waltz is definitely gonna be last. So now I'm gonna move on to Fritz because I'm really interested to see what his curse is. I think it's like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing because he has two personalities when he's Varg. So I'm really excited to see what's going on there. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Cinderella Phenomenon, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to join the companions. And if you'd like to help support the channel on Patreon, there's a link in the description. Get early access to videos are Patreon only, the Discord server to contact me, and a bunch of other cool stuff. Or you can check out the other links in the description that will help out the channel as well. I'd really appreciate that. Please let me know in the comments what you guys thought about Rumpel or Chevalier's route compared to the other boys, or if you enjoyed his good ending or not, what you didn't like and stuff like that. I'd love to know everyone's opinion. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye! Ooh, what is this? Hello? I didn't complete the puzzle the last time, so I didn't get to see this. What the fuck is this room? Alright, I'm okay. He kisses my stomach while his fingers tease the edges of my